What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Latin Affiliated TV, and we are here at Street TV Studios. We got another killer guest for you guys. No pun intended. Bozo, the guy that doesn't need an introduction. He's all over YouTube right now, so we're very happy and excited to have him here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Dude.
Chilling, man. Vibing out.
So I know you had a really great weekend.
Yeah. Great week, total week. And my oldest daughter got married. So I was very fortunate to walk her down the aisle, something that at one point in my life I thought I would never be able to do, you know what I mean? Because of my incarceration, the time I was doing at the time. Mm-hmm. So not only that, you know how it is like maybe you don't know, but I was a screw up as a dad in her younger life, you know what I'm saying? So her mother didn't necessarily think I was a good example. So I was really pushed out of her life, forced out of her life. And luckily I've been blessed to gain her love back and her respect back through my hard work and my actions. And she made it a point for me to walk her down the aisle.
I'm sure the wedding was beautiful.
Yeah, it was private, small. She wanted it small. Her and her boyfriend or her husband now, they're very private type of people, you know? So it was just us and his side of the family, and then a small dinner after, you know, nothing crazy, no crazy turn up, just families socializing and bonding, in to know each other, which was nice. And yeah, it was good. It was good for my heart. I needed that, you know.
That's awesome.
As a dad, it's hard losing your daughter's love, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I needed that.
For sure. You know, I can sympathize with that. I saw my brother go through the same thing, being locked up, and me being around his niece. You know, my niece, his daughter.
His daughter, yeah. Yeah, the sisters, man, like the sisters in the family are, you know, it's man, they're a very important connection. I think that the sisters balance out between the parent and the child, and they create a perfect medium to where they could stay biased to both sides, but still be a how should you say, like a doorway into communicating between the siblings, the elders, and the younger ones. And like for me myself, my sisters have been my pillars. I lost my mom when I was 13, 12, around there. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. It was them instilling in me and keeping in me my mother's traditions, my mother's principles, you know what I'm saying? Her nurturing, her love, the confidence that they build in me, and keeping me grounded, like, you know, making sure that if I couldn't see my daughter, they were seeing her every weekend, you know, and going out of their way and doing that, and explaining to me like, hey man, you need to stick to it, like don't let us handle it while you're gone, because they kind of gotta play devil's advocate, right, with the scorned baby mother, you feel what I'm saying, and pretend to like her while hating the bitch at the same time. And you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a huge role to play if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, like in my current relationship, my current marriage now, like being that voice of reason when I have a disagreement with my wife, you know what I mean? They're still so important and intricate parts of my life. So yeah, shout out to the sisters, man.
Exactly. We got some Latina power in the building.
For real. Yeah, in a major way. Like my girl, she's the one that takes care of all her siblings, and I'm the husband, so I see it all, you know? And sometimes I complain, you know, like why are you so involved? But I get it, you know, I can't be a hypocrite, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they say the man is the head and the woman is the neck.
Yes, for sure. Definitely, yeah, because this head is all over the place. I'm nuts. You know? So I need a little stabilizing, you know?
So I was asking him if he saw my interview that we did with Lefty. That episode made this channel go viral. We went up.
Yeah.
So shout out to
he's that
Lefty.
guy, man. Yeah, Lefty's a very real person, you know? He gets a lot of hate for how genuine he is. And I try to explain, because I have a relationship with him, so I try to explain to people, like, you know, you can't, you know, you're not going to grasp the man unless you meet him outside of this entertainment world, you know what I'm saying? Because then you see the real him and what he's going through. Mm-hmm. And not only that, like, if you haven't been in a position that he's been in, like being from the streets and then finding success in your early 20s, that transition is very complicated for us. You know
Well,
what I
he's
mean?
in his late 20s, right?
Yeah, he's in his late 20s, yeah. But he started younger, right? But I'm saying like it's very hard. It's hard for us because we're held to a certain standard on the streets, right? And our street culture is very, very very serious, man, when it comes to what they expect out of us, you know? But the entertainment side requires for you to step out of that box, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we are entertaining, you know? So we walk a very thin line between staying true to our roots and now evolving into what we're evolving into, you know what I mean? So I think that for him, you know, he's not in a situation where he has a father figure to necessarily guide him and instill in him that man's perspective of life, right? So when you don't have that compass and you're leading yourself as a young man, it's very hard, you know what I mean? And you're gonna make mistakes, you know? But
Yeah,
but-
shout out Solus.
yeah, exactly. Hell yeah. I made that a point when the first time I really got to express how I felt about them on Hoodstocks before that whole drama happened on that episode. That was my point, was that I wanted to make it a point to thank Solus, you know, and believing in a young man like Lefty, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man, there's not really nobody that'll believe in us, you know. I've passed up on a lot of opportunities because people think I'm too wild or I'm too outspoken, or maybe the gang life is too ingrained in me, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Solus, man, for taking the role of a big brother and showing Lefty how much he loves him and believes in him, because there's one thing when people tell you they love you, it's another thing when they show you how much they love you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely shout out to Solus, because he's been looking out for me too lately. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's put me in a position that I've needed for a long time. Yeah.
So how was the concert this weekend? If you guys are watching and you're not in California, there was a huge concert this weekend.
To live and die in LA. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
dope. It was nice, man, for, you know, for all of us to come together. Because it's different, you know, it was different. There was a lot of artists there. There was even a female artist that I've been really admiring.
Reverie?
No, I've been on Reverie. Daisy Lynn.
Okay.
Another girl you should look into, Salvadorian
Hey.
Mexican girl just like me.
Come on our show, Daisy Lynn.
Yeah, and I'll link you guys up. As a matter of fact, she's a good female
appreciate that.
representation.
I haven't
of
had a
hip-hop.
female entertainer.
Man,
on
I'm gonna
the
make
show
that happen
yet.
today. As a matter
Oh,
of fact, I'll reach out to her.
dope.
But her, I've been watching her from a distance, and I think for the last 2-3 years, I've been wanting to work with her. But you know, as artists, we go through situations where our representation changes. You know, so I didn't really get to get in contact with her. But also the Coyotes, you know, we had a little incident at the beginning where, you know, we didn't see eye to eye, and me being who I am, I expressed you know, my disagreement with what they were doing.
Okay.
But it was nice to get past it, and
That's good.
and I took the initiative, like, because I believe that if you speak up, you also got to be the first to apologize or maybe make amends, right? Like,
Communication.
yeah, you can't just be a shit starter. You got to be able to clean it up too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so meeting them was dope. And then seeing guys that I've been out here grinding with for so long, like Steels, which is a big producer out of LA. Shout out Steels, High Tone, the guys from No Lames, which is the Rocky Nash podcast.
Yes.
Them guys, you know, the homie G Money was there. A lot of people, you know, we've been at this for a minute. You know, we've
Yes,
been at
we
this,
have.
We've been at this, I want to say, for a long time. Like, yeah, like
Print magazine people.
yeah, like I started in 2005, you know, and I went away for 10 years. And when I came back, I saw like a reemergence of what I had left, you know. It had died out. And I felt like there was a reemergence like around 2015 of when YouTube really blew up, right, on the scene and allowed us to have our own platforms. That the grind really started again, man. And right now we're in a good position, you know. We're either go big or go home right now.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what
where
it
I
feels
feel we're
like.
at.
Yeah,
It
you're
does.
right.
But it feels good, you know. It motivates you, you know what I'm saying, to see the hard work pay off, man, and so many like-minded people come together, you know.
Right.
Because a lot of people fell off. You know what I mean? A lot of people fell off, but I think, you know, they fell off for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so we were saying like this is like a clashing of the YouTube podcasts right now. In the LA YouTube podcast,
Yeah.
everyone has been jumping on each other's shows. So Adam 22 was here at Street TV. My show gets syndicated on Street TV, and so it's just been crazy. Everybody's been really supporting each other. I know Icon is been doing things with Compa Raider. Have you heard of Compa Raider?
Yeah, he reached out to me yesterday.
Oh, he did.
That's funny. Yeah, he reached out to me yesterday, and he's a very unique individual, you know, to say the least.
Yes.
You know, like I said, I don't, you know how it is, right? We all have our own opinions of things, and I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things he does. But at the same time, you know, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? That there's a method to his madness,
He's
you
paid
know?
the cost to be the boss, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
He's got multiple businesses. He's successful. People don't know that. I mean,
Yeah. No, yeah. So, yeah, but we got to, you know what I would ask out of him is to start sharing that, though. You feel me? The business side, because, you know, we can't all be entertainers. You know, not the whole culture is meant to be entertained. A lot of us need that business etiquette and that business insight and how to make it happen, you know, and he has it.
Yeah.
So, shit, I would love for him to share that part of his life, you know?
Well, you have that business insight as well.
Yeah, I do. You know what I mean? But not like him, though, man. He's been more successful.
Well, he's in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Are you an independent artist?
Yes, I'm strictly independent. I've been independent for the last, I want to say 6 years. You know, I signed a deal when I first came out. And, you know, I went through that deal, which was good for me. I signed with Fan First. It was an independent label, too, that is now in correlation with Orange Distribution. So, yeah, it was good, man. He was also a young guy starting his own label at the time, you know, an entrepreneur that has his own studio in the city of Van Nuys. And we were able to make something special happen. I think that at the time, we were the first ones to bridge the gap between a lot of upcoming hot LA artists with the young and upcoming Latino artists. You know, like at the time there wasn't nobody working with like people like RJ or G Perico or Joe Moses or Compton AD. You know, at the time that looked like me and they represented what I did. Like I was one of the first ones to really have that luxury to do it. And now it seems like it's almost like the blueprint, you know?
Wow.
The blueprint for a lot of artists.
Dope.
Well, Lefty's doing it. You know, Lefty's took the same route as me and done more. You know what I mean? He's expanded it through out of the state and different artists from different genres and everything. So it's good. You know what I mean? Like I said, it feels good to have a piece in this big puzzle, you know?
Yeah. So your album, when did your latest album?
My album dropped, it was April 30th. April 30th, we dropped our 13th independent album.
Damn.
Yeah, I've been working. Well, you know, I have that OCD, you know? So once I start something, I have to finish it.
I love that.
And I have to finish it fast, you know what I mean? And that's my work ethic. Like I for example, I dropped that one, and then I already have another one already that I'm about to drop again.
No shit.
Yeah, necessary.
Oh,
evil,
exclusive.
Yeah, I'm about to drop another album. So.
Hey, you didn't tell Adam 22 that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. No.
This is first knowledge.
Yeah, we're about to go through Atlantic for this one too. Atlantic Records with the help of Solus.
Oh, no
yeah,
way.
Yeah, so that's a big move. For distribution, we're gonna do Atlantic. Yeah.
So does that mean that it could get some streams on the radio?
What it means is that they're gonna help me. It's basically the same as if I was independent, right? But what it is now that there's no middleman, so they're helping me distribute and they're gonna help me. The advantage of that is that they know how to help you get more streams and rack up the numbers for your sales. You know what I mean? Because they are the plug. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's going direct to them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's huge for me because I've been, you know, it's crazy, man. Like you look for these opportunities and these outlets through your own, you know, community, right? Your own network. Yes. And people aren't so open to give you those resources, you know. And out of nowhere, here comes this guy Solus that isn't of our culture and isn't.
Yeah, he's Asian.
Yeah, exactly. And first conversation, he's like, "Hey, you need this," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, let me finish telling you who I am, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's a trip, man. The people you meet and how things.
I wonder if he just recognizes real, right?
Well, yeah, that's what he told me. You know, well, behind closed doors, we had a relationship without having a relationship. So, you know, I had a pretty how you say it, documented beef with one of his main artists, one of his first main artists, and
Wow, when was that? Like,
it was I don't know, man.
So how long have you known him?
I've known him for, I want to say now it's been about like 6 years. Wow. Like knowing each other. Well, I'm saying knowing each other from a distance, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had a documented beef with one of his main artists at the time, and you know, like he told me when he met me, he's all, you know, I knew you was beefing with my artist, but I stood out of it, you know. That's like I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no peace in it, so I stood out of it, and he's on And then I met him finally the day of the podcast of Lefty Gunplay on Hoodstocks. That was when we officially met, you know? And I think that he saw my concern for Lefty, you know what I'm saying? My genuine concern for him. And because I've been in Lefty's shoes. I've been a little younger than he is now, and I put myself in a position where I had to go to prison for 10 years, you know? So I do tend to be a little overbearing when the young guys are in situations where I see that they could fucking screw it all up. You know what I mean? It's almost a big brother type of instinct, right? So we had that situation, and yeah, right after that we went to Lefty's house, and I've known Lefty for years through, also for a few years without knowing him also, like, but you know how it is in the barrio, right? Like, somebody's being with somebody's girl or somebody's dealing with somebody. So I've been known of him for a minute too. And that was the first time we really met also, you know what I'm saying? So it was I guess fate, you know, fate making us all meet at the right, because that day that happened at Hoodstocks, I wasn't supposed to go. I was having an ice cream night with my kids. I take them to the Baskin Robbins down the street from the house, and we were just eating chocolate sundaes, and next thing you know, they're talking about me on YouTube, pull up, you know?
Really?
So I'm like down the street a few miles away, and I jumped in the car and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go say what's up to the homies, you know? And I took off, and then, you know, that incident happened. But yeah, we ended up meeting, and Solis told me, you know what, it's unfortunate we had to meet in these terms, but fuck it, now it's better than never, you know?
Damn.
And if you need anything, we got you, you know what I mean? And I took him up on that offer, you know?
That's dope.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is because it's something to be said about doing things organically, right? Like, you know, a lot of people force shit, you know, and I think that a lot of people chase clout right now to force things, you know, and you really don't have to, man. You just got to keep your principles intact and move the way you were raised to move. Because let's be real, like, this chasing clout shit is something that people learn through YouTube and Instagram, right?
6ix9ine.
Social media. Yeah, we all learned it through social media.
King of clout.
And for some reason, people have made that their business model. You know what I mean? And what people don't realize is, like, yeah, there's a fast come up with that, but there's also a fast decline. You know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword. It's not just one, you know? So I think that there's something to be said about keeping your integrity, keeping your principles, and just doing the work, man. Doing the work that's necessary.
That's the long game.
Yeah, exactly. That is the long game. There's longevity in it, and I'm living proof of that. A lot of guys that started with me aren't here right now, you know? As a matter of fact, none of them are here.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, and that feels good because it's been hard. You know, I catch a lot of heat. You know what I mean? People don't really interpret my message or the things that I'm saying in the way they're supposed to, because now everybody's a victim now, you know? Everybody's offended. So everybody's looking to be insulted by what you say to validate themselves and give themselves a presence in your world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to agree with you because they know that they won't be highlighted for it. But if somebody beefs with you over some or disagrees with some, oh, now you're important. You're disagreeing with old boy.
Yeah.
What do you got to say? You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's a poor etiquette, but, you know, like, as men, we got to show poise and walk through it, right? And win at the end. You know what I'm saying? Which is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I love that you are really setting some standards for the culture, and the younger generation, they can look to how people are moving out here in LA, how artists are moving. That, like you said, you do have to think about the street culture versus the entertainment side of things, the business side of things. Entertainment is a business.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously. And we want to stay in this. We want our people to be successful. And if you're coming up on beefs and stuff, you know, I know you're in a beef right now, or
somewhat, you know, I mean, I won, you know. I'm
it's
victorious.
Over.
It's over. Yes.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to make that a chapter in my life that's done with, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's done.
Yeah, I could say it's pretty much done, but even that type of energy though, you feel what I'm saying? I feel like I've been there, done that, and it's time to just, like, you know, be an OG, man, and just let these dudes, you know, play themselves. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Yeah,
so that's a perfect example.
Yeah, it is. It's man, that situation right there was crazy, man. You know, it was one of them things where I saw, you know, my instinct, right, from the lifestyle that I've lived and being in this game, the entertainment business for a minute. you tend to grow antennas for when people are trying to exploit you, you know? You tend to see the opportunists coming that are trying to feed off you, and like parasites, right? You feel them and you see them coming. And with that situation, like that man was making it such a point to attach himself to me, you know? And he was going out of his way. And I guess I'm a petty individual, man, you know? Like I could have, yeah, because I could have very easily just laughed at it and ignored it and just, you know, kept pushing. But I don't know, man. There's some that makes me be protective of the people around me. So I thought to myself, wait a minute, if he's doing it to me, who else is he trying to do it to? And who do I need to make aware that this person is around? You know? Because like I said, right, like I'm very in tune to the streets. I have that luxury, you know, still to be in deep communication with the streets, as well as that entertainment side as far as Los Angeles. So I felt like it was important, you know, because for us, especially like Latino artists, rap, Chicano rap artists, or however you want to, what box you want to put us in, right? Our reputation is very important. Our people are, if you think I'm petty, they're even more petty. You know, if you have one flaw, if you have one shortcoming as a man, they'll judge you forever. You know what I mean? And you got to hear it. And that's very distracting when you have a goal, when you have a moral compass, right? That you're aimed at, to have people doubt your integrity and your principles is very, very distracting, because it becomes one of the things like our street comes into play again, right? Like, oh, you're questioning me? Let's catch that fade. But you can't, right? So you're doing it, you know, through the phone or through DMs and this shit, and it's very distracting. Like, you don't need that, you know?
Yeah.
So so that situation was very interesting, to say the least. You know, I had told people, like, when I started looking into this man, like, they're gonna make a movie about this guy one day. You know, because the depths of his how should I say, man, the depths of his how he changed his persona, the way that he became different people, the way that he was able to hide, the way that he was able to fund that whole how should I say it, man, that whole life that he was trying to portray was even that was impressive. You know what I'm saying? It was very I don't know, man, but you know, it's one of the things where, like, how should I say, you know, we got to look at our government and our politics. You know, it's like, I feel like our government and our law enforcement is so eager to catch bad guys that they also encourage bad guys, and they fund these bad guys, you know? Like, this guy he had a license to be a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like the guy Lonzo did in Training Day. You know, I can almost see them as the same person, only that one was a real law enforcement and the other one was just a street guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy out here, man. Yeah, it gets deep, but that was a big test of poise as a man. You know what I'm saying? It was you know, my wife used to, you know, she's the one that has to deal with me at home, right? So, you know, she sees my mood change, you know, when I'm from my happy-go-luck myself to a pissed off, insulted individual, you know? So she was the one that would be like, chill. Like, why you letting this shit get to you? Like, you know what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, stop, you know? So that would keep me grounded. And but yeah, that's done with, man. And it's you know, right now it's being, you know, how should I say, like, people are talking about it.
No jumper.
You know, I'm glad. Well, you know, 1090 Jake, that's another thing. Look what happens, right? So just so people could see what I mean by there being rewards to having integrity and having principles, right? Like, I'm at home and I'm going through this, right? And without me knowing, the gentleman on the other side of this beef is in serious trouble with the FBI. You know what I'm saying? And they're you know, they're crashing down on him. And
if you guys don't know, or the beef that we're talking about, it's with G-Face.
Yeah, it's with G-Face and myself. So yeah, so the FBI was investigating him, and I believe that you know, I believe that a big part of that investigation was because of how I was antagonizing him with my silence. You know, the more you ignore a man with a huge ego, the more his ego reveals itself, right? Like, the more you ignore an arrogant person, the more that arrogance comes out. And I know that more than anybody. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to have the confidence that I have in myself to be able to take all the insults and all the threats and just sit back and laugh at them. You know, they don't call me Bozo for nothing. You know, I laugh at the circus. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm not part of it. I lead it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, I love that.
yeah. So I sat back and I was able to, you know, let his ego be his own worst enemy. You know. So as he was trying to insult me and destroy me, he was burying himself. Like he, first of all, he released a fake AI of me. You know, altered audio of me allegedly speaking to a minor in a disrespectful way.
Didn't
you know?
they do that to American Cholo?
Yeah, they did that to American Cholo too. Well, they edited his. Mine was a complete AI, you know? So he released that audio and he went full force with it, which was debunked and which was proven to be. And he even admitted that it was fake. He took it off his channel. And then he openly documented putting a hit on my head for $40,000 for somebody to kill me. And even then I laughed because, you know, my experience tells me if somebody's doing that, something's not right, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like something is definitely, it's there's something behind that, right? Nobody with the right sense does that openly on YouTube. Who who puts a bounty on a man on YouTube openly without him being able to get away with prior crimes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just studied my enemy, studied my opponent, and I told myself his weakest link is himself. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, the more that he felt he had to prove himself to me, the more money he flashed.
So you were saying something about 1090 Jake.
Yeah, so I'm getting to that, right?
Oh, okay.
So the more he exhibited wealth, the more he exhibited cars he was buying, the more he talked about the houses, the new house he was about to buy for $2.5 million in LA. Well, without me knowing, the feds were investigating him the whole time, and his main evidence was his YouTube channel, because he was documenting all the things that he was purchasing with this money, allegedly, right? This is all alleged, still in the you know, he's fighting all this, right, through the feds. That he was buying all these purchases he was doing with illegal money, that he was doing through government funding, that he was allegedly frauding, I guess. He was committing fraud.
Okay.
So so they arrested him. I didn't even know, right? I didn't know. The feds went, picked him up, and I guess his next pawn to get out of prison was me. You know, he told the FBI that I had sent him photographs of his wife, his children, and his dog at his house through DMs. And that I had told him that his days were numbered. So at that point, I didn't know this. Like I said, listen, I want you to understand how you know, how important it is to, you know, have faith, right? And have God on your side. You know what I'm saying? That same day that I'm going to sleep to wake up for my daughter's wedding is the day that I'm getting all these messages. But my phone is turned off because I'm asleep early because I got a big day, right? I got to get my daughter away the next day. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even, you know, the world outside of my daughter's day isn't important to me.
Yeah.
Usually my phone is, you know, that's my biggest resource, right? So I'm always very attentive to it. That night though, I was like, you know what? We're going to bed early. We got to get up early. We still got 3 little kids. We got to get ready. 4. And so I went to bed and I ignored it. And when I woke up in the morning, I'm getting messages from Blue Devil and 1090 Jake that it's important, 911. But at that point, man, I'm like, I'm not prioritizing none of that shit, you know?
Yeah.
I'm prioritizing the day that I have. And I see the message briefly and I'm like, whatever, I don't care, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm having something bigger happen today, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have the ceremony on my daughter. We have a beautiful photo shoot. We have the dinner with my family. And on the way home, after all that, finally I open my phone up and I'm like, let me see what's going on, you know? And 1090 Jake, which is a big YouTuber, he was looking into G-Face as he got arrested. And he came up on the emergency motion for bail that his lawyer submitted for him under the pretense that I was a threat to his family, that I had threatened to harm them and him. You know what I'm saying? So
which was fake.
His case, yeah, absolutely fake. Like, you know, so I wouldn't do that anyways. I'm not that stupid, nor do I lack the morals, you know? Like I would never, you know, families are off limits, right? Like that doesn't even make sense. But yeah, so 1090 Jake was reaching out, hey, just in case, tell Bozo to be careful, you know? They might be coming to question him or to come look for him. You know, this guy's giving him as a pond. Another person that unexpectedly reached out and was showing concern for me also was Wack 100.
Really?
Like somebody that people view as a villain to our culture and you know, like what I represent as a Southsider, right? He's always been painted as a real prejudiced individual towards us and somebody that doesn't necessarily like us. Well, for whatever reason it is, you know, he was also reaching out and making me aware, and he even sent me screenshots of the motion, you know, for the emergency bail on the behalf
How
of
does
that
Wack
gentleman.
get these papers?
Well, what it is that once you, okay, so let's say you get arrested today, right? After your preliminary, which is 72 hours from your arrest, the DA is informed that you're under their custody. So they're made aware to start stacking up all your history and all your record and everything that pertains to you, because from now on, the government is prosecuting you, right? Because it's hard to do it as you go. So more or less like, hey, whatever we have on this guy, put it all together because we're trying him. You know, we need all his record, all his past. So there's a motion for that, right? It's called discovery, a motion for discovery. So especially when you have a paid lawyer, you have the ability to put that into motion even faster. Well, where his lawyer failed was to seal it. He could have sealed the record.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason, it slipped his mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got this lawyer off of Facebook or a marketplace or OfferUp. I don't know. But with all that money, you would think that he would get top notch, you know, litigation,
Yeah.
right? So it's made available to any private investigator, to any officer, to any lawyer when you go to the courthouse where that individual is being prosecuted at. So all 1090 Jake and other journalists that are interested have to know is where you're arrested at, and they could submit it. You know, they could
Wow.
submit for it. So yeah, his lawyer failed to seal it, and it was made accessible to the public, which it still is. You know, if
Wow.
anybody wants to, you know, check or fact check what I'm saying, it's still available.
So
in
that's
the
how TMZ.
Yes, exactly. That's how a lot of magazines, journalists have been doing this forever.
Okay.
You know, that's how they had the Puff Daddy too. All his, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, you know? But like I said, yeah, so that was happening. And you know, those gentlemen reached out, which I thought, you know, for whatever it's worth, man, whatever the reason is, I took it as commendable, you know? I appreciated it because at the end of the day, you know, I don't hide the fact that I'm a family man, you know? Yes, I have these ties to the streets, and yes, I have this past that's very intriguing to people that glorify that lifestyle. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a family man, you know what I'm saying? And I got people that depend on me, you know? So for them to have my well-being in heart was
Interesting.
big. Yeah, yeah.
So so you told Wack 100 thank you, or
Of course, I had to. Yeah, well, you know, respect given is respect received, you know? So, of course, I thanked them, you know what I mean? And I appreciate it, you know, 1090 Jake also, like that. I don't know them, you know? I've never met them, you know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, you know, it was in their heart to do that. So I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the P. Diddy situation? He's not going to be charged though, right? Do you think?
I think he's gonna be charged. I think that it's bigger than that, you know? I think that
So
you know, you gotta understand, right? So in the criminal world, right, the longer you get away with it, the more lies you have to cover up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's been, how long? He's had a 20-year run, 20 plus maybe.
he's got so much shit that they need to.
Exactly. So you know, it's hard. It's hard to you know, keep track of everything you've done, and you know, the more you get away with something, the more arrogant you become.
For sure. He's
You know, your ego is huge, right? It's a monster. So you know, I think that a lot of things are gonna come out. I think that it's very deep, man. It's a deep wormhole that he's in. But I think that, you know, it is what it is, right? This, we've been seeing this through history. You know, it's been happening forever, right? R. Kelly's, the Epstein's. You know, eventually these guys get caught, and it's because of the length of time that they do it in, right? That when they do fall, they fall hard. So I don't see him getting out of this one. You know, I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think this last video that just came out of him with that girl Cassie is so damaging itself. You know. And as it is, right, the public seeing it. So what jury are they gonna find in a wormhole, that in a hole somewhere under a rock, that didn't see this, and who doesn't judge him based on that from now on?
yeah. His apology too.
Yeah, his apology. Well, you know, everybody apologizes when they're caught. You know, it's your
Exactly.
apology.
It's not an
It's your
apology.
apology when nobody knows your secrets that matters. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
you really holding yourself accountable and apologizing before anybody else that matters. But when these guys get caught, like they all want to make these videos. Like to me, man, it's disappointing, you know, because you know, in the black community, like you need heroes, you know, you need these role models that should be strengthening like what men are supposed to be and what's expected out of men. You know what I'm saying? So to see a man of his height go out like that, it's sad because it paints a picture that everybody that's that big is this way. You know what I mean? So now that Tyler Perry's are into question, you know, now you know these big stars and these big leaders of their community are being viewed different. You know what I'm saying? Because of one person, you know, which sucks, right? Like we all go
Yeah.
through that, right? Every
Yeah.
community goes through that.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a good point. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Honestly, I think because he already made his settlement with Cassie, that I don't know why that footage it wasn't leaked. It was put out, you know, because they've had that footage forever. So the fact that it's just timing on why they decide to.
Well, I think it creates an appetite for more. And that's what they want, right? They want to plant a seed in you so that you demand more, so that the outside people, the audience watching is foaming at the mouth, ready for more, opposed to you just like giving us so much that they can't handle. You know what I mean? It's like I've said before, it's like political campaigns, right? That's how politicians get put into office. You know, they create these fear mongers that make you question the integrity of the people running, right? And they plant seeds. Well, it's the same shit. You know, in the entertainment world, it's the same shit. And CNN is the masters of that shit. They've been doing it forever, you know? And you got to understand, right? Puff Daddy just won a big lawsuit against a big production company, you know?
Which one?
What she was claiming discrimination. I forgot the head of it, man. But he won something of like 400. I don't even want to say the number because I know I'm wrong. But he just went against a big institution and he won, you know? And I believe that when you go through some of the big dogs in the entertainment world, man, they're going to turn on you, man. That's why you got to choose your battles wisely. You know, you got to size up your opponent the right way.
Yeah. Well, definitely want to talk about your music, your album. I was listening to it with some friends this weekend, and someone said something. I want to get your thoughts on it. They said that you reminded them of Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. Man, that's dope. I do get that, right? And I hate it. Listen, the only reason why I don't like it is because people start interpreting it as me saying it.
Okay.
You know, like, oh, you're feeling yourself like you're on that level because first and foremost, I'm not at his level, right?
And, you know, just to go above that too, I listened to the album and I could hear why he said that. So it's not just his opinion, it's a few people.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think that we're like-minded people, right? Like, I think that your tribe isn't always determined by your ethnicity. I think your tribe is determined by your faith and your principles and your morals, especially when it comes to men. You know, like, I have bonds with black men that I don't have with brown men, you know? And there's bonds with brown men that I don't have with white men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on what role you've played in my life that we, you know, there's a saying that Benny the Butcher says, like, when you see a real motherfucker, you're supposed to see yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like real men should
Benny
identify with each other.
Mafia from the Mafia?
No, Benny the Butcher's a rapper. He's a hip hop artist.
okay.
Yeah, he's from BSF. Yeah,
I
he
think
sounds like a mafia guy.
I think
right?
that's a Mafia guy.
It's a character in Gangs of New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah,
Okay.
Benny the Butcher. But yeah, he's an artist that says that, you know, and it's true. You know, I think that us men that have these beliefs and carry ourselves a certain way, we identify with each other, in which we should, you know, and we should be proud of it, right? Like, who do you want to emulate? You know what I mean? Men of integrity, or you want to emulate men of lack thereof? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a huge compliment. Yeah, because he's, you know, I've told people this before, right? Like, Nipsey did the 10 years with me. He did them with me in my ear, you know, like I started listening to him young, you know what I'm saying? When he first came into the game, and, you know, even at my, you know, my house parties, right? Like when my nieces were, you know, YG was heavy. I was always like, let me listen to some Nipsey. And to them, it was boring.
Old music is really good.
Yes. Very good. Bullets Got No Names, all that stuff. Yeah, man. So, man, and then, you know, I can't lie. When he died, I cried, man, you know?
Did you go to his funeral?
Yeah, I went to his
Really?
I went to his when they wrote him through.
Okay.
You know,
I watched it on TV.
My management, Doe Man from PCNT, he wrapped the van with images of Nipsey, and we rode it through all LA.
That's dope.
We ran into Wallow and Gilly from $1 Million Worth of Game. We ran into them before they blew up. They were out here on Crenshaw, walking around the memory of Nip. We ran into a lot of people that day, but I have it documented actually. I have all the footage.
Where is this
of
on
us
your?
being out
Where can
there.
we see that?
It's on a video called
Is it on your YouTube channel?
yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. It's a video that I dropped.
Bozo Bam, right?
Yeah, Bozo BAM. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my URL. So if you type in Bozo Bam, all my videos come up. What's the name of that video, babe? Where Vinny's in it with me, where we had the Nipsey funeral, the memorial.
Gosh,
Yeah, I'm
how
not
long
trusting
ago?
that.
That was already like.
Man, I don't know, man.
Gosh, he passed away. I believe it
It's
was.
called Gotta Survive.
I think it was.
Gotta Survive, right? Yeah, Gotta Survive is a single that we
I
dropped.
think it was 2019 that he passed away.
Yeah, something like that, man. It was shit. We missed that dude, you know?
You know, I met his mother,
Oh, really?
Angelique.
Interesting, man.
Her and I had a very long conversation. She's
That's
a beautiful woman.
those are the worst conversations you can have, man.
No, like she
of
was.
mothers of men that have passed away.
She's
you
so
know?
strong.
Yeah.
She's so strong.
Well, they have to be, right?
Yeah.
Man, I think that's one of the hardest things, I think, for a parent to bury a child, you know? It has to be, right? Like the way you love
Yeah, the way she described it is like you could just tell she very much has a lot of faith and
yeah,
just,
she has closure with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
She almost is like he's in a way better place. She really believes that.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, man, that's a deep conversation to have, but yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I have that at the house. Yeah, man.
Show that to us, Alex. What are you showing us? What is that?
Yeah, I have that. We have that print at the house. The bros were out there giving it out that day. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thanks, Alex, for this piece of history.
Yeah, we posted up across the street from the Sloss and Donut shop with the van, and we played his music all day that day, and we were out there all day. Yeah, we were out there doing.
I couldn't get myself to go out there. I just watched it on TV. I knew it was going to be crazy. You know,
It was love. It was good, man. It was. You know, I got to touch the hearse. You know, that drove him by and everything.
Beautiful.
You know,
That's awesome.
it was dope. Yeah, but you know, man, that's those are things that bring the community together in a sad way. You know, but
For sure.
it demonstrates that there is, you know, the same belief out here, right? Like so many of us are connected through his music and the things that we believe in our principles and our way of living. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely is a time in our life, right? Like he's always gonna have that. Like, you know, like our elders used to remember JFK or Martin Luther King or
Yeah.
certain people like that, right? Well, he's that guy and he's a rapper.
Yeah.
In South Central, and that's crazy.
And someone I know, I don't remember exactly who told me this, but they were, you know, I know there's a lot of comments online of people saying, "Oh, all these rappers shouldn't be doing so many podcasts." But on the flip side, we're all very thankful that Nipsey Hussle
Shit, I watched
did
this,
so
I watched
many
them all so many.
podcasts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because-
him and Kobe.
So we
I watched
can
those
all-
guys
yeah.
all the fucking time. Even I could just be not have nothing to do, man, and just need something to distract me. And those two guys are
listen to your song,
one of the
Kobe.
same guys that I'll go to, like, you know, because it's that mentality, you know, it's that how should I say it, man, that self-empowerment, you know, that you need, right, through these challenging days that we're in right now. Because I think that we're not physically being attacked, we're being spiritually attacked now more than ever, you know,
Yeah.
through entertainment. So yeah, it's dope to have them and to have that documented.
Yeah, for sure. I know Adam 22 said that about Lefty, you know, trying to get Lefty off of all of the podcasts and stuff. And I know you're all over No Jumper right now. They just been seeing clip after clip they're using.
Yeah, my relationship with Adam has been very interesting also, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you know what's funny? Before that whole initial incident with American Cholo, I really didn't watch his podcast. I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Okay.
Because I'm outside hustling, you know. When you're outside grinding, you know, YouTube is maybe fifth in your priorities, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange, but yeah, like I'm really outside grinding, so I didn't really watch his platform. And then the way that I was introduced to it was kind of like in a negative way, you know what I'm saying? You know, them posting that edited post of American Cholo saying some pretty prejudiced remarks, right? But I know American Cholo. I have a real relationship with him. So I stood beside him with that, and as I stood beside him, so did so many dudes from the streets, different neighborhoods, and we all, you know, we wanted to we wanted to let it be known that we're united when it comes to not wanting to ignite war between black and brown on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to allow social media platforms or YouTube channels to dictate those wars. If we're at peace on the block, shouldn't nobody be fucking instigating shit, right?
Yeah.
We're the ones that are in it, and shouldn't nobody have a piece in it. So, we felt at the time that Adam was trying to, instigate wars on the streets, which now in hindsight, when I look back on it, it's the farthest from the truth. The man is just a businessman, and a lot of times when you're in a business, you're just looking to capitalize on the most profitable product, right? Mm-hmm. And at the time, that was a subject that was going big because American Cholo had just made it an issue to go against Tyga for the Ay Caramba video and song, right? And which listen, to this day, I still believe it was very stereo. It was.
And he took that music video down.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Tyga. He didn't have to.
Well, I think he caved.
Well, yeah. Listen. I'm gonna speak with respect, right, towards him, right, because I believe that he has enough money. I believe that he's had enough success.
Yeah.
Where he could have said, "Fuck that." This is art, and a lot of people outside of our community would accept it as art. Because that's how people are now, the artists have a bigger voice than the people out there on the streets sometimes now. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give him his props.
Yeah, and he did go on air and apologize.
Did the right thing. Yeah, and he took time out of his day and his schedule, which at the time was very big for him. He was booming at that time. You know what I mean? The guy had some big singles out there, and he went out of his way to show us love. You know what I mean? And he took it down without any argument or any legal fucking prosecution or all that shit, right? And he took it down. So at the time, that was a big topic. And like Adam said, as a journalist, I gotta speak on newsworthy topics, and this is a newsworthy topic. And you being out there in the media, we're gonna present everything about you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Adam understood how big it could get past just one person. I think that Adam thought at the time, I'm just attacking this fucking this man, and that's where it'll stay. Nah.
He didn't realize.
There's a tribe.
Army.
There's a tribe. Like, when you mess with one, Mexican, you mess with all of them, right? Which American Cholo isn't even Mexican, but he's Latino, right? So he's our brother, right?
Exactly.
So the circumstances that I met him under were very, as a man, I think that he could have very easily grown resentment towards me. Because I went on his podcast uninvited and I demanded something out of him that he typically doesn't do for anybody. You know what I mean? And he did what I demanded him to do. You know what I'm saying? And we came to a mutual agreement on live in front of everybody that I needed to come down. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, right? Any other egomaniac would have had a bruised ego behind it, resentment, and said, "Fuck that guy." You know what I mean? And as time went by, he took the time to let it die out. He kept his poise. I still said some negative shit about him here and there, me being petty who I am, but Adam never really fed off of it. He kind of put himself in my shoes the way I see it, right? Mm-hmm. And when I said on his podcast that I came back from the perspective of a businessman because it could hurt your pocket, I was talking about him, not me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, him ignoring certain topics out of fear of people, they're gonna hurt his pocket. If he's worrying every day about who he's gonna insult and how he's gonna insult him, what does that leave open for him to speak about? You know what I'm saying? If he's always worried about people's feelings, right? So I get it, man, and I relate. But another thing that behind closed doors that he did too, also for me, when that AI recording that G-Face put out of allegedly me speaking to a minor, right away he knew it was fake. He works in that world, right? So his instinct told him this is bullshit, but he reached out to me privately. And he reached out to me privately and was like, "Hey, this audio's going around. Do you care to comment?" And me, still being a dick at the time, I just sent him back some emojis, like laughing emojis, telling him they got to try better than that, man.
Yeah.
And he was like,
my comment.
And then he said, "Understood." And he didn't exploit it. And he could have, right? Like, we have a history, we had a pissing contest and most men would have, took that opportunity to maybe hurt my character, you know what I'm saying? And even if it wasn't real, right? He could have wrote it out on the borderline, put it out there so more people see it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, apologize. He could have played chess with it, but he didn't, man. So you know, that's like I said, right? But those are the things that come forth from, you know, keeping poise and keeping your morals intact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And carrying yourself as a man. But going back to the music though, yeah. I do. I guess, you know, I'm inspired by a lot of the artists that I listen to and I look up to. You know, I was a big Ice Cube fan. I was a big Tupac fan. Big 50 Cent fan and big Nipsey fan. You know, so those guys they do play a part in how I write music and the message that I want to deliver. Even like guys like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a certain elegance that comes with being a man in the industry still making music, you know? I think that a lot of people get lost that you need to cater to the kids. Well, they need to understand, right? The kids didn't birth hip hop. Guys of my generation did, you know? Like we were the little boys buying singles that only cost $250 of our favorite rapper at the time. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that used to get the hard copy CD so we could keep the cards and thumbtag them to our walls. You know what I'm saying? Of our favorite artists. We're the ones that collected posters. You know what I'm saying? That is now we're the ones that bought the magazines, that read these and looked at the pretty girls in them and read about our favorite rappers and wanted to be like them, right? So hip hop is a part of this grown man generation that's prevalent right now in society, right? So I think that there has to be a soundtrack for them too. Somebody has to be catering to them, you know, and yes, I talk a lot of gang shit in my music, but a lot of us come from that shit. And one way or another, those are our badges of honor. You know what I mean? Like the things we went through. Like, think about it. Like, look at all the juvenile halls that are being shut down right now because of all the abuse. We're the ones that were there at that time. Men of my era. You know what I'm saying? Men of my generation are the ones that were getting beat. Men are the ones. We were the ones being tortured behind those doors. You know what I'm saying? So I try to speak to them. You know, and I try to feed their ego while at the same time inspiring them and hopefully helping them navigate through these days, man. Like it's hard for a man out here in the world right now. We're constantly being attacked. We're being called toxic. We're being called animals. We're being called outdated, that we're not evolved enough, we don't have an open mind enough because we're just set on being men and the biggest men we can possibly be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I take pride in doing that shit. Like my age demographic and my analytics is between 23 years old to 55 years old. And I take pride in that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do take pride in it. And so with my music, that's what I've been trying to do. My last album was titled The Southside Logo, which has been out maybe a little less than 2 months. Yeah.
Oh, that's the whole album.
That's the whole album.
Right, and then it has a title. That's the title track as well.
It's the name of the album. Yeah, man, it's my best work, you know, and that's the album that Soulish from OTR is gonna help me to push further more.
Yeah. I listened to it. I've been listening to it. Like I said, I do hear some of the same rhythms, inspirations from the artists that you said that you were listening to. So go spin that album, man. Go run it up, listen to it, find them on Spotify. And, you know, I think that I love that people that are in the industry can look up to you, that you have brotherhoods, I guess you could call it, with people like Lefty. When I interviewed Lefty, my plan was to just let him talk and let him go because I watched a bunch of interviews that people kept cutting him off.
Yeah.
And I also
that tends to happen, yeah.
Yeah, and I empathize with the younger Latino generation as well. You know, not a lot of people know, but I lost my nephew at a very young age. He was 25 years old. And I just saw him blooming as a man. So, you know, our young Latinos, we really need a strong figure.
Yeah, they need role models from our culture, you know, to keep them grounded and to keep them in perspective of what their expectations are as far as being Latino, you feel what I'm saying? And what allows us to have this success and what allows us to have this family structure that we have, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's important for our culture to, how should I say it, to acknowledge our elders, to acknowledge the children, and to study our past and where we are now currently. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's very easy for us to get lost in the current and think that we're doing something right. Yeah, but if you look at the past, it'll tell you what to avoid in the future and how to maintain what we have now. You know what I'm saying? I think that cultures can be exploited, you know what I'm saying? To the point where there's nothing left to leave to their people, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm heavy on artists that aren't black not using the N-word, you know?
Yeah.
Because I believe that that's their inheritance, man.
Yeah.
I believe that it's so important for people to respect that. Like, people think that I'm being prejudiced. Nah, man, like, how in the fuck am I being prejudiced when I rather respect the culture than exploit it?
I don't understand Latinos that use that word. Like, I just don't get the method. I don't get the methodology behind that.
Well, I think that, look, man, what it is this, okay? Like right now, currently, right, there's a post of a clip of me on No Jumper saying that the difference between Northern California Hispanics and Southern California Hispanics is that the Northern California Hispanics have lost their identity, have lost their culture, and have adapted more of the black culture.
I saw that clip.
Okay, I'm catching a shitstorm in my DMs, in the comments. So first and foremost, what I would like to say is this, right? First and foremost, when you're calling the black culture Northern culture, is wrong. It's not a Northern culture. It's the black culture, first and foremost. Like, for Northerners to think that they can just take that,
like the
and call it
hyphy.
theirs, is delusional. And that just goes to show how far you guys are from your
This is
roots.
based off of E40.
What I'm saying, listen, let's not narrow it down to an artist, right? Let's just narrow it. Let's just give the black culture the credit that they deserve, right? They have such a big impact in every culture now that people from Northern California are calling it theirs. It's not yours. First of all, when you say it, say, we have adopted the black culture. Let's just be completely honest with ourselves and call it what it is. Like, they want to call it theirs. It's not yours, bro. It's the black culture, okay? And second of all, if you really love this culture the way you love it, you would respect it. The best way to give a culture their flowers is by respecting it and by protecting it. You exploiting it and benefiting from it without going to their struggles, without investing in their communities, without investing in their artists is bullshit. Like, for me, for Latino artists to take the N-word and use it to make money, right, off of it, and not once come back and pay for a feature from a up and coming black artist, or to, let's say, put into the communities, is bullshit. You're not paying homage. You know what I'm saying? You're not showing your respect for what that word means and what it identifies with. I know what the word identifies with. I have black friends. I done decades with black men incarcerated, you know, where we did hunger strikes, where we did sit downs, where we pushed legitimate, like, litigation, right, against the powers that be, right? And I still don't use the N-word because I respect my brothers that much. Like, I love them that much that I wouldn't steal from them, from their ancestry, from their lineage. That's their lineage. Like, to me, people say, oh, well, there's blacks that say homie or use Spanish lingo. Dog, you can't compare that to the N-word. Those are, like, for us to compare everyday words to the N-word, it's taking from it. You know what I'm trying to say? It's almost like, man, what's the best way I could describe it? It's almost like you calling an officer a general. There's merit behind those titles. You can't just give an everyday officer the title of a general. There's things that you have to go through. There's work you have to put in. There's studying. There's so many different things that go into the merit behind certain titles. So to me, it's bullshit. And that's why I stand on what I stand on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then there's young Mexican artists that are saying, oh, I'm putting on for the culture, but I use the N-word. No, you're not, bro. First and foremost, you're exploiting the black culture. And second of all, you're turned on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I stand on that shit, and it makes people uncomfortable. You know how it makes more uncomfortable is the grown people in our community, like the grown-ups, the 40-year-olds to like the mid-20s that are grown, that should be mature to grasp what I say, but lack the maturity thereof. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're so stuck in their imagination. They think they're in these fucking rap videos. They think that they are these artists, and it's like, no, man, you're an adult. You're setting an example for the future to come in your household. Like, give them the right example. Don't set them up for failure, and don't teach them how to be exploiters and opportunists. You know what I'm saying? Like, show them respect and show them these morals that we need. You know what I mean? So, and I stand on that. You know what I mean? And I will always stand on that. And, you know, and it pushes away a lot of artists from me, and it pushes away certain people. But I don't want those people in my circle any fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whoever don't like me for it, fuck them. I don't want you to like me for it. You know what I mean? I say it openly because I stand on this shit.
Yeah. Well, hopefully these new up and coming Latino rappers will know, like, let's just keep that out of our music if you can. That's just my opinion. I'm just a girl on the internet. Your hunger strikes and incarceration?
Yeah. So the hunger strikes and incarceration was because they were violating human rights against inmates, right? Like there was this one thing that was called an undetermined shoe, to where a government institution can determine and undetermine how long and how bad of a person you are, and how long you could stay in segregation. Segregation means away from human beings. Like there was guys sitting in the hole for over 25 years, isolated by themselves.
Oh my!
And they were legitimizing it with these legal statutes, right? That said that you were so violent that they can what's the word I'm looking, justify turning you into an animal and torturing with psychological punishment. You know what I mean? So when we did these hunger strikes, it was all the races at one point. You know, it was the blacks, it was the whites, it was every group. You know, Asian, the Native Americans, it was the islanders. All of us came together in unison, and we forfeited our right to eat, to get our brothers out from the back.
Wow.
To get our brothers out from that type of punishment, because we wanted them to have at least the ability to
gave me chills.
to have another human being around them.
That's
You know
awesome.
what I'm saying? So when you tell me that I'm prejudiced, it's like, you can't tell me that shit, dog. Like, you haven't sat there with, you know, and people are gonna say, "Oh, you're glorifying prison. Those people deserve to be in there and all that shit." Well, that's good
inhumane.
For you. That's good for you. You know what I'm saying? But thanks to those acts, everybody is out of those confinements now. You know,
Nice.
and those shoe programs are being shut down. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was also a part of my life that I went through while being incarcerated. You know. And I'm
Yeah.
proud of it. And for whatever it's worth, yeah, I did 10 years incarcerated. And yes, I suffer from it still mentally. Psychologically, I suffer from it. But I like to think that I give myself a purpose. So the purpose outweighs the past now. You know what I mean? And I'm able to stay focused, and being able to put myself in positions of success,
Yeah.
and thriving in our community, and to give back in whatever way I can. Like, you know, I've done things with God's Pantry, like, which is a food bank in the city of Pomona, to where I
Yeah.
brought Arnold Barbosa, the champ, out there. I've brought Drummer Boy out there to do charity. I'm still trying to bring King Lil G out there. So, you know, we do little things, man, to try and give back, you know, to try and mend what we've done in the past, and try and correct the wrongs doing for our past, and somehow, you know, hopefully gain forgiveness from God, man. That's what we're after, you know?
You know, we're all a work in progress here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So here at Latin Affiliated, you know, we're really about the culture and the positive stuff on here, and that's what we want to talk about with the artists that come on the show and the LA lifestyle. So let us know where you're watching from. Let us know, are you watching from LA? Are you watching from, shout out to Pittsburgh and New York, Florida? Let us know if are you watching from Japan? You know, like, just let us know. Put it in the comments. Let me know if you listen to Southside Logo yet. Make sure you spin that on Spotify. And I think we're gonna wrap it up. But any final words?
Nah, man, just follow me on IG, bozo.goontalk, on TikTok. My YouTube channel is Bozo BAM. The URL. I'm on every digital platform available. And yeah, let's keep improving, man. Let's keep working. Let's keep doing the hard work, and not shy away from what needs to be done.
Yeah, putting in work. What you put in is input and output.
Yes, definitely, always. Yup.
You know, so you're living proof of that. Living, walking, talking proof. We're happy to have you here inside the Street TV studios, and hopefully we'll have you back. You know, but you're all over the internet right now, so we're very, very honored to have you here on the show today. And I love that you are creating a path for people that are on the rise right now, and we can look at keeping people in for the long term, and not trying to do something that's just going to make you go viral, because that shit don't last.
No, you go viral for the rise and for the crash, so you can pick which one you want, man.
All right, man. So I'm Angie Smalls. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Become a member. You know, we got some exclusive content on there. And we out.
Salute. Southside.